Hello, hello, welcome everyone. Scandinavia. This is a new-ish map at this point. I think it's been out for like, I don't know, an update or two, but yeah. So I am Phoenix61, guys. Make sure to follow the channel. We're doing World of Warships videos every day. We got a pretty sweet streak going. Right, so today we are in the Friesland. I like to call it the French Friesland. But this ship, if you don't know, you've probably seen it out there in the world, right? Like, you've probably played against it. But what's funny is a lot of people don't realize, if you don't play as it, if you don't have this ship, you don't realize that it doesn't have torpedoes. This is a destroyer with no torpedoes. So this one's kind of nice because, with some of the other ships along the regular tech trees, right, we have talked about this on my channel before, where I'm just like, I don't know how to build it out, right? I don't know which mods to pick and what commander perks to do, like stuff like that. Well, this one you don't have a choice because there are no torpedoes. There is no sense in having anything torpedo-centric built into this ship, right? So it's all guns all the time, right? So what's cool is it looks kind of sorry and sad when you think about it, because you just get the one turret in the front, one turret in the back. But as you will see, this is a destroyer hunter. So both turrets rotate 360 degrees, so you don't have to worry about gun positioning, and they already turn pretty quickly, even without any like sort of upgrades or mods or anything like that. But where I'm finding that this ship really shines. So, I mean, you could sit there and just, sit in your smoke screen and just lob, high explosive rounds at battleships and cruisers just all day long, and you can really rack up damage. It's a lot of fun, and it's pretty cool. It works really well. But I think where this ship really shines is destroyer hunting, right? So you get sonar, and I think the sonar with like the perks and things that I've picked, I'm not sure if this is the base or if I have any buffs. We'll go through the commander at the end of how I have it laid out at the end of the video, right? But basically, you can sit in a smoke screen and your sonar will go 4.4 kilometers, right? So typically other ships aren't going to pick you up until 2 kilometers. So if you get into a gunfight with a destroyer, as long as you keep them in that, between that 2 and 4.4 kilometer range, like this other Friesland is going to do to us too, right? So the reason we win this gun battle is because we've got lots of help, right? So we're we're not triggering our sonar just because we don't need it yet. He's still spotted, but yeah, and then now we've got it going, of course, because we know he's smoking. And then you can see he triggers his too. But since everyone on my team helped, this is what I talk about on some of my other videos. Help kill the destroyers, please. Like that look at how awesome that was. Like, now we are destroyer free on this side because people helped, right? But where this ship shines, if you don't run into another Friesland, right? Some of the German destroyers have sonar as well, right? But a lot of times you'll get into this just perfect situation where it's another destroyer. You can sonar and smoke, and you can see and shoot him, and he can't shoot you, right? And so it feels unfair when it happens, right? But it's really like, it's the pros and cons of every ship, right? Like, so that's the pro of this ship, and you don't get torpedoes. That's the con, right? So, but the nice thing is, with the sonar, you're going to pick up their torpedoes early. If they do have torpedoes and launch them, right? But you can see we're already up to 18,000 damage, and we did get credit for that Friesland kill, even though everyone else was helping us over here. But that was absolutely huge for our team when it comes to this match. And you can see, so I'm gonna use up my smoke screen as much as I kind of feel comfortable with, and fire and shoot. Man, that guy, props to him getting that shot on me. Blind shot into my smoke screen, and he hits me and catches me on fire, and we don't have damage gun ready to put it out yet. But yeah, so as long as we've got somebody in range and we're not nothing's gonna threaten us, and for the most part, aside from this mine's just shooting into our smoke screen, we'll stay here and abuse our privileges, right? So until they go away. So 50 seconds left on the smoke screen. But yeah, like if nobody else is gonna spot for us, it's kind of silly to sit in here, especially when we've got the zone capped. So if it comes down to it, we'll move out of the zone, right? But this Iowa is coming in, and it looks like we can hit him. Of course, we don't have we don't have line of sight on him, so we're relying a little bit on auto aiming, and then I like to you know, kind of gauge speed and make very, very tiny adjustments to the auto aim and aim a little bit higher since I am shooting, you know, HE at a battleship, right? I want to try and hit superstructures in the deck and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so you can see, well, when we zoom in and then zoom out and then zoom back in, we adjust it just a little bit, right, to get those fine finesses. And then, of course, yeah, you can kind of see how good we were doing. We were actually somewhat aimed well, right? As he comes around the corner there and we actually have a line of sight. We probably could get a few extra shots here. I don't know who else is kind of over in there in between us and Zone B right now, though. So we take the conservative route since we're a little bit lower on health at the moment. And stopped firing our guns. But yeah, he was going down regardless. We didn't really need to help, right? But we do lose our Vanguard as well. So we will make a beeline for the B hole over here for Zone B. It's not really a hole. This one's kind of, you know, on the outside, but you guys know him. You guys know him. I think I'm hilarious. But yeah, so that encounter there with those couple of ships and then mostly that Iowa. We're now up to 46,000 damage, no torpedoes, right? Just guns. Just the guns. And then yeah, so my plan here is we'll see what happens, like what else gets spotted or if we get spotted. It does look like the other two destroyers on the enemy team are hanging out over at A at the moment and killing off our ships. There goes our Colorado. But yeah, so my plan right now is just go into the B cap, see if we can't get that zone, and then by then we'll have our second smoke screen ready, in which case we can, you know, if we do get into a good situation similar to last time here, we could smoke up and then do some damage with our guns. Shoot people, right? That's what this game's all about. And we probably got... So the other thing too here, you can see 3 enemy ships up in the top right corner on the minimap. I'm leaving them alone. I'm not going after them. Like, they are far away from objectives and they're running away. It takes so much time to chase them down. So I'm a huge advocate of letting them run. And they can waste time. Each game is only 15 minutes long. You spend 5 minutes running up there into that corner, and then it's going to take you another 5 minutes to get back and help with objectives. Your team's going to lose on points, right? So, and we do that in some other videos where I actually am those ships going up and running away, because I do that because I'm getting ships to chase me. So if enemy ships are chasing you and you're tying up multiple ships to your one ship, then it kind of makes sense, because then that gives your team the opportunity to kind of take care of objectives and capture zones, right? So there, there's a time when it makes sense to do, and then there's a time when it's kind of silly to do, right? But yeah, I know on my channel we do preach I do preach survivability, right? Like, your ship's even more useless dead, right? So like, if you have to run away for a minute in order to survive, right? Like, do it, because you can come back and fight another day. But here is the perfect example where the ship shines. So we're picking up this summer CE, and we are just smoking him. He doesn't have a chance. He doesn't have a chance, but yet he's still plowing in here. But yeah, we've got our smoke going, we've got our sonar going, and all he can do is blind shoot at us. And with how quick these guns reload, and how often we're causing incapacitations, like, it's just it just seems unfair, right? And then since we've got the sonar, we get a little bit lucky here with this, thread the needle here. There we go. Oh yeah. But yeah, he doesn't. It just feels unfair, and it's such a good feeling. It's such a good feeling. 63,000 damage now, 2 kills. Plus we're still capping this zone. Another full minute and a half left on the smoke screen while this Roma barrels into us as well. So yeah, we're gonna probably be able to trip a bunch of fires on him, hopefully cause him to use his damage control. And then in that case, hopefully this our allied destroyer here that's near us, hopefully he's got some torpedoes he can send, right? Because it'll be tough to whittle down a Roma with the guns here. So you can't do everything yourself in this ship, but if you need to, you can burn him down. You can burn him down. It'll just take a while, right? So it does look like he's either on damage con right now or used it up very recently, because we're not triggering fires here. And I think, did somebody get a torpedo hit? I think he's flooding. Very slowly, maybe? I don't know, his health bar is like ticking, right? So I'm not going to man it out because I have no health left, right? And I think even if I was at full health, I would not man it out and die from that Roma, right? So we don't have torpedoes. We can't do the big chunk damage, that you can if you get a full torpedo salvo on them, right? So we used the opportunity of the remaining smoke and planned ahead and started running away ahead of time, right? So otherwise you're going to get picked up within that 2-kilometer range and he's going to just smoke you, right? His secondaries and primary batteries are going to, he's going to turn everything towards you. So we take some cheap shots over this mountain here, and then I made the mistake of not remembering that there's a Bismarck over here, and so this guy's going to pick us up. So I had already shot, so I'm like, you know what, like I might as well try and get a couple shots off before he finishes us off, right? But we did either trigger fire on him, or we still got one going on the Roma. So yep, our Caprice finished off the Roma. And so yeah, so we got a fire going on the Bismarck, and this is like perfect example, right? So you're in a destroyer, but you don't have torpedoes. But not everybody knows that, right? So I think if that Bismarck knew, I mean, granted, there's still 2 other destroyers left on our team that are alive, but I think if that Bismarck knew that we didn't have torpedoes, he probably would use his damage con and get rid of this fire that's still burning. So we're up to 98,000 damage done on this guy. So just kind of watching him out of curiosity, like, unless he mismanaged his damage control before, like, I don't know, but so yeah, so we'll watch the rest of this map just because, I'm looking at the, we're technically outnumbered, right? But those 3 ships that went up, those 3 enemy ships that went up in the corner, they're still up there. They're still up there. I capped a zone, killed another ship, like, and they're still up there, right? So it just was like a little bit mind-blowing to me. I feel like this is one of those games where the other team should have won, right? But it's classic World of Warships, right? You got new players and stuff all the time cycling through this game, right? But anyway, so I had fun, so I wanted to put this one, I wanted to keep this video out. I actually just recently bought the Friesland. This is one you can, if you guys know me, you can buy this with global XP. You need 750,000 global XP. So you guys know me, if you're following my channel and follow my videos, I don't spend a lot of real money on the game, and I actually go through the grind of the tech tree and actually play for the most part. Every once in a while I get a little frustrated and I spend some global XP to upgrade a ship, but for the most part, I save my global XP so that I can buy the premium ships that are in the store that are for sale for global XP, right? So that way you can get some premium ships without having to fork over doubloons, which costs, real cash, right? So so the Friesland is a, you can get this ship for free just by saving up some global XP. It rhymed. Anyway, so, but I think it's a great one, and it's definitely, if you're a destroyer player, you kind of have to it's a nice mix-up of the norm, right, from the barrage of torpedo and that type of strategy. You kind of have to change your play style a little bit, right? And I think if you're a cruiser player, it works too, right? You're basically a mini cruiser, right? Like you just you don't have torpedoes, but you get smoke screen and engine boost, right? So like this maneuverability. Actually, the AA on it is really good, but we don't have. There wasn't a carrier in this game, so I think you could do an AA build on it, but I probably wouldn't recommend that, just because you don't have torpedoes to fall back on, right? So it's literally all guns, right? So I feel like you're kind of forced to build into the guns, right? So. But yeah, so like I'm looking at this game and it's just like, we got the 2 zone caps, assisted captures, right? And that was huge for our team just because those points have been ticking up this entire time, right? Until this what's this Harbin? Oh no, this is the mines. I think there's the Harbin's the one that's out there, way out here, right? And granted, like that's that Pan-Asian cruiser line, and those are tough to play with. So like I almost don't blame that guy, because you really have to, like, that's like, that cruiser, on those cruisers on that line are like, for most of them, fast firing guns and deep water torpedoes, right, and then smoke screen, and then they're the like very classic like weak armor scheme where you can just get taken out in one bad battleship salvo, right? So it doesn't surprise me to see people playing in those ships to be playing conservative, but yeah. And then, of course, the mines. I think a lot of people think that ship's a little bit overpowered, but you see it's always frustrating to go up against them. But, you know, there's always a counter, right? Cap zones. Win on points, like we do here. So, like, originally I didn't think I did too well in this game, but we actually do take the top spot on the leaderboard with over 3,000 XP, even though we died too. As you can see here. So yeah, I was like, all right, yeah. So I recently got this ship, and then I played several games, and I was top of the leaderboard for several of them. So I kind of had to. I was like, well, I got to pick one of these, right? So we are using Jersey Swirsky. So I know for those of you that follow the channel, I was using this commander for, and we'll go. You know, you can. I'm just gonna cycle through what we have for inspirations and the loadout, right? Like I always do. Excuse me. But yeah, I was using him for my AA build for like my Skane and the Östergötland, along with like regular tech tree line. But I switched that up because this guy's a little bit better for the guns, and the other commander, which I can't even think of. The other commander's base trait is AA focused, so it kind of made a little bit more sense. So I should have some Skane and Östergötland videos out somewhat soon, if not already. We'll see what happens, right? With that sort of those commander tweaks, right? You know, but yeah, so you can see I'm using main battery mod. I think you could do the aiming system one for the better dispersion, but like you don't get the benefit of, you know, you don't have secondary battery, right? And you don't get the torpedo launcher traverse speed. So like, because you don't have torpedoes, right? So it's like, all right, I'm gonna pick this one, right? I do propulsion mod a lot. I know other folks like, you know, the steering gear stuff, and then concealment. Since we're destroyer, I think that's almost a must, especially since you get sonar. So the target acquisition one kind of doesn't make sense, because if you're smart about using sonar, then it's a wasted mod slot, right? So the concealment makes better sense to me there. And then we do go gunfire control here, but yeah, I mean, you could do reload, right? But I like range and dispersion better. That's my style, right? So yes. So that is, I think, our first video with the Friesland, right? So thank you guys so much for watching all the way through. Do make sure you subscribe to the channel if you did like the video. You can push the like button. If you didn't like my video, don't do that. That doesn't make sense, right? But do follow the channel. I am on the struggle bus that is getting to 500 subscribers, where YouTube actually considers me a real person. So please help me out a little bit and subscribe. We are doing videos every day, so you'll get a notification for tomorrow's then. But yep, so see you then.